The storm has now arrived. Hello guys, it's Stormwalk Boy 13. Tonight I want to talk to you something. I know it's a bit random this one, but tonight I want to talk to you about something of the history of weather forecasting, and or the future weather forecasting. The title's called Future Weather Forecasting, but I'm also mentioning about the history of weather forecasting. As you know, I want to have a little talk about something. You know, when you look through the radio, or you go on TV, BBC Weather or something, or, well, if you're in America or something, that's CBS or something, I don't know. I don't know much about American channels, but, or whatever. But, as you know, you can't always trust them to be 100% correct. You know, I kind of learnt about this throughout the past few years. Well, since when I was 10 or 11 years old, I had an interest in weather, and that's what got me interested in weather, I guess. Weather forecasting, eventually filming extreme weather, which I've done that over the last few years. And even all sorts of weather stuff. You know, it's been, 3 years since I had my YouTube account set up. And, you know, it was all mostly weather stuff. It used to do some random acting stuff, but that's well done now. That was in fact nearly a year ago since I last stopped doing them. 9 months to be precise, because weather is my main genre to focus on this channel, and I'm continuing doing that for the rest of the year. And but the thing is it means a lot to me about the weather. It's definitely my hobby in my free time, because I do other stuff. But you know, the thing about the weather forecasting is, and I like the past year, I've done the weather forecasting since beginning of 2016 last year, is that I look through the weather forecasting map late Saturday or early Sunday. Now, as you know, prediction for the next few days, you're not always right. In fact, you're very rarely spot on at all. The thing is that the weather models always change every day. Like the temperature you can't get a temperature to be exactly what you predict it will be. Same for the weather kind as well. Even with heavy rain or something, sometimes I can completely call it off, and then you may end up having a dry day. And the thing is that people blame the weather forecasters because they've got it wrong. The thing is, it's not easy, even with better computers now of recent times than it was in the 60s, 70s, something like that. Even, like I said, even with super-powered technology, forecasters can still get it wrong. The thing is they have to come up something with like the Beaufort scale or something like that, but you know, the wind direction thing or something like that, and you know, we have high pressure, low pressure, high pressure, low pressure, which is always the key thing of our weather. Whenever there's a high, there's a low. But how do they predict what may happen? It's always a little bit of uncertainty, but I kind of guess it might be something to do with the wind, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a change in pressure or something. They have tons of weather stations, and some of them are completely different to other ones, so that's why some weather stations or models are never usually right. So, I usually trust the BBC website the most, and Met Office, I guess, even though the Met Office is split up from the contract from the BBC in a way. But this is why when you listen on the radio every day, if you're going to work or something, or you watch TV and you want to know what the weather will be like if you're going out to the park, or even going for a drive-through or something like that, or special events taking place, you always got to check on the weather. That's always the most important thing as well. But like I said, it's never usually. In fact, they don't usually get it right, to be fair. Sometimes, yes, they do, and it's spot on, but not always. So like I just want you to know, guys, if I ever make any mistakes when I do weather forecasting, can't blame me about this, but there's just the predictions of what the weather forecasters do. I occasionally update you on something if I was like putting a comment or something, I don't know, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days. From the current day I'm doing my weather forecasting, anything can happen, anything can change. So all I just want you to do is, even in the future, you may still there may be incorrect times when you do weather forecasting, which is a bit inconvenient, but that's sometimes the way it goes with technology. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Now I'm just going to show you what weather forecasting was like way back from, let's start with the 50s. Oh, I just put the... Right. So this is the screen for, this is the weather forecasting for the 1950s. Hope you can see clearly. I will show up in a second. This is America, so, but it was so different back then in the 50s. It's more like meteorological forecasting back in the 50s. I'm just going to skip a bit through this. So they had to call from like services to predict what the weather will hold for that day. So it says mild there, rain there, so like there's a low pressure bordering across the eastern stages of the US.
60 up here, that's a big long 60.
Right, 60.
About 32 up here.
It could be temperature actually, or might be wind speed. Well, maybe not wind speed.
Freezing drizzle. I like freezing drizzle better. Okay.
Right, temperature.
22. Well, Jim, that'll just about do it for us, and thank you.
God, imagine that in the 50s. Alright, that's the 50s. Just to be fair, I'll show you the weather forecast of the UK in the 1950s. Also 1953, which is the earliest known BBC weather forecast, so it's not really that much different, to be fair, it's just a different country.
The reason being a ridge of high pressure, which is shown here on the 6 o'clock chart, and that has moved steadily eastwards across the country during the day. There were a considerable number of showers in northwestern districts and in northwest England, which at times penetrated through into the Midlands. But in general in the south, we've had a good long periods of sunshine, and in the Isle of Wight area in particular...
So they didn't have weather symbols or temperatures, they just used a meteorological map or something, like they printed it out or something, because it's not, they didn't have computers, I don't think, back then in the 50s. Right, into the 60s, it doesn't look much different, to be fair. This was something to do with Captain Sandy, 1964, weather forecast.
85 and partly cloudy skies.
Again, more drawing of the numbers of the temperatures.
79 degrees and cloudy skies. 75 and clear in New York. 68 and clear in
Well, it took much longer to do the forecast than it was in more recent times.
Partly cloudy skies with a 60-degree reading at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We will come back in just one moment.
Then we're into the 70s, so it's late 70s, 1979, but it still counts.
Good afternoon to you. Well,
And there's quite a bit of colour now.
Today are far higher than they've been for some considerable time in many parts of the country. We're certainly not out of the woods yet. It does look as if
Oh, it's Michael Fish, but this was 8 years before the most controversy weather forecast
for
of
the
all
month of
time.
February as a whole, there's a good deal of very cold weather on offer, a fair bit of snow as well, especially in the south. Although with a bit of luck, I think we're going to see rather more settled weather than we did in January. As far as today's picture is concerned, we have two things of interest.
So January 1979 was not a good month.
That's edging
Know
down
that.
very slowly from the north, bringing colder
Skipping a
northerly
bit of
winds
this,
into those northern parts, and a much more marked great mass of white cloud down to the southwest. That's those front one or two.
Alright, so we've got the symbols up and the
Northern Ireland
numbers.
and southern parts of Scotland, that cold front, fairly slow moving at the moment, admittedly, is giving a fair bit of cloud.
If you look
Rain will soon
carefully,
get into
if
Northern
they show
Ireland,
it,
and there's a rain around in southern Scotland as well at the moment. And very gradually, I think you're going to find during the course of the afternoon and first part of the evening that this area of rain works its way slowly southwards, and as it comes across the high ground, say in North
oh, that
Wales
came
and
up.
Pennines,
Anyways,
you're
yeah,
going to find
you
some
have to
sleet or
move
snow
these
coming out of it.
pictures
Some more
downwards,
clear weather
upwards,
eventually getting into
which I bet that was most annoying.
southern parts of Scotland. Over the rest of England and Wales.
We are now into the 80s, and it looks a bit more computer generated. It looked good around that time.
All day today, and I think the major risk of fog will be over southern Scotland, northern parts of England. Well, let's have a look at the old familiar Atlantic
Sorry,
chart.
camera's a
You
bit
can
off.
see one front over southern parts of the country. That really isn't giving much in the way of rain now, but it's still got a fair amount of cloud on it, and this is why I think the fog will only be patchy in the south. Most of the rain is associated with this
That will
front.
be a difficult
And
job
if
to
I
do.
mix through, you can see the white-grey area there, which we show as rain. In fact, if I get out of the way for you,
Well, it's fog then.
you can see that there is a good deal of rain well out in the Atlantic, and with southwesterly winds, that will be pushing its way into northern and northwestern parts over the next few days. Well, let's have a look in more detail at this rain then. This is the position of the rain at about midnight tonight. You can see it just in
Since when did we have
northwestern parts,
2400?
down
That's
in
actually
towards northern parts of Ireland
4
there. And if
hours.
I run this forecast sequence, and you can see it's moving by the
Oh,
time changing up
that
the
was a
top,
long time ago,
you
though.
can see how that rain moves in across Scotland and Northern Ireland.
This is when it starts
I think
introducing
by, midnight tomorrow night,
automatic
just a little patch
transitions
left in
from
eastern
these
parts of Scotland.
computers.
Most of it cleared away, I think, in western parts and also in Northern Ireland, and staying dry for the most part down in southern parts as well. Well, let's have a look in places,
Alright,
particularly
so that
central and
was
eastern parts, but nowhere near as cold as it has been
the better
recently.
graphics of the weather symbols and temperatures and the wind directions.
But it will be lifting and clearing from most.
Now we're into the 90s.
Already forming in many places, but things are going to change tomorrow. And
This was
yesterday,
1996,
higher
close to where I was
parts of the
born.
Midlands, but particularly into East Wales. Now, clear skies in the satellite picture here indicate those rapidly dropping temperatures, but out to the west, this massive cloud, that's sweeping in towards us. It's already quite a deep low. Here it is on the chart. It's going to continue to swing southeast.
This was the 90s, we know that, yeah. And this was actually not pretty decent around that time.
In the western part of the English Channel, I think, by this time tomorrow. Strong winds around that, and also a lot of rain, as I say, also some sleet and snow in some places. Now, the frost that's already forming is likely to be widespread across most places. Temperatures not too low over Northern Ireland, but here still some patches of freezing fog for a time. But then later on tonight, I think we'll find the wind picking up in the southwest, and that'll lift those temperatures.
That was just overnight in winter.
The snow mostly on the high ground, inland in Wales, and possibly across the Salisbury Plain and the Cotswolds. But further
And then as we approach the 16th of May 2005, bye-bye symbols, hello.
And yes, new look weather, and the weather
New
is
look
on the
weather,
change as
and
well. We've got rain
so-
edging its way south.
but it looked
today,
different, though,
introducing much colder air
back in
behind it.
2005,
Yes,
12
there is
years
some
ago.
sleet and some snow in the forecast.
Sorry,
More of that
yeah.
in just a second. Now, at the moment you can see this cloud out to the Atlantic is actually not
Look
going to
at
be
that,
for a
but
couple
it
of
looks very
days. If we
different though.
come
We used to have an
closer,
old
this cloud in
black
the
and
south
red
is
symbol
giving a few spots of
for the
rain. So
day
Cardiff,
and the number.
mid-afternoon, it will be a little bit wet, I think, or
We didn't
damp. Up towards
we used to have
Northern Ireland,
squares,
fine afternoon
kind
here,
of temperature
around
things, then
12 degrees.
rectangles or
Into
something.
Scotland, here's your snow then, falling over the high ground. The white there is the snow. Generally rain,
And you
though,
can
at
see,
lower levels.
so I'm
Coming
talking
further
over
south,
this,
some
but the
bright weather
clouds,
for northern England, and then we pick
I
up
mean,
rain
the
across
rain's
east
not
Anglia, the Midlands,
changed a
down
huge
towards
amount,
London, with just a
but
few
if you
showers
notice, the
perhaps
cloud
ahead of
breaks
that,
are
getting
completely
down
different to what they
towards
were
the
now,
southwest. But a
because
vast
it's
improvement
either
here on the
just
weekend.
mix of
Plymouth,
grey
17
clouds and then
degrees
suddenly
today,
one
up
side
by
is
6 or 7
completely clear
degrees
blue
from what we saw on
skies.
Saturday and Sunday. Now through the afternoon into the evening, the rain does eventually come southwest. As the sun sets, you see it going darker there, the skies begin
So that's
to clear. and that's when we
2005.
Cold as we
This
make our way
was
through the next 4 or 5 days.
Charlie Slater,
Unfortunately,
and
is
this
the
is their
reason why we're
forecast.
dragging in all of this cold air off of the nearby continent. Unsurprisingly, it's fairly chilly.
Now
on
this
there
was
this time of year, and
the
that's
latest
air that
one.
we're
This is
getting
East Midlands, but
this
you can
week.
tell
So
this is the
really,
latest weather
really
forecasting.
cold. It's exactly what we've got this afternoon. Dull, cloudy and overcast. We're not talking anything too
This was
wintry,
today's
but because
weather,
the
by
clouds
the way.
staying
We had a
off, there
very
is the potential
cold
for some
day,
drizzle,
when
and
we did
it's
saw a
cold
little bit
enough.
of snow, but it was
That
just
drizzle could
flowy, so
fall
it
with
didn't
some
really.
very light snow, just a few snowflakes in the air at times.
2 or
Temperatures
3?
up to 2 or 3
Just got
degrees
1.
Celsius. To put it into context for you, 5 degrees is your average temperature at this time of year.
7's
Unfortunately,
usually
as you can
average,
see,
but that's
we've
just
got
some
another
weather
day of it
models.
coming tomorrow as well. But first of all, tonight going to be a very cold night. The temperatures will
You
eventually
can tell
fall away down
the
to
graphics look
around
completely
freezing,
different now.
potential for a little bit of snow overnight,
Right.
particularly.
Last thing I want to talk about, we looked at the past, we just looked at the present, and we can't forget the future. Let's go ahead to 13 years ahead to 2030. So, I'm going to quickly talk to you about something. I've never been on this page before, but it's fine. It says the European Centre for... I'll let you have a read on that. Can you read that clearly? Well, hopefully that's good for you guys, I guess. It was silent for a minute because I hope you had a good read on that. Hope the lighting was good. So I thought, instead of me reading it out, I thought you may want to read it out. But yes, there might not be, potentially in 13 years' time, maybe things might not change much. I don't know. Thing is, you can't always trust the weather. Always just take something with you just in case. Even if it said it's going to be like a 10 to 20% chance of rain, there's still a good chance you're going to get soaked. So always take your waterproofs with you, even regardless what weather it is, just to be on the safe side. Because you never know, a passing shower might suddenly pop out when it may say completely dry, clear day. Obviously, you know, got to just check what the temperature is and make sure you just wear suitable clothing, and you know, just keep checking on the weather. Don't just check on once and then suddenly that's it. I'm not going to check for the rest of the day because I know what the weather will be like. It's not always the right way. Just check every few hours or something, or even every hour or something if you were going out and if you had Wi-Fi then, because it could change suddenly. Because they may suddenly pick up new information on what the weather could be like a couple of hours later. It might be a sudden note, but it might be better than actually not having any notice at all. See what I mean here is that the weather stations change all the time, every hour usually, because I've noticed on the, well, even if it's a small change, it can be a big impact. So that's all I just want to know, you guys, is I want to advise you, if you look at the weather forecast, don't always assume it will be that. Just be prepared for it. They always give you warnings and stuff like that. Mostly it does happen, but not always. But still, consider that warnings, respect that, and make sure you probably do what they say, even if it may not be right. So please pay attention to the future, what the weather could be like. That's all I want to let you know, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment and subscribe. And the storm is now out. More videos to come soon.